It is the first day of the Contemporary-A-thon, and things are going okay. I haven't talked about it on my channel yet, but I got 6 inches cut off my hair, so that's pretty fun. And I'm wearing no makeup because I don't work on Mondays, because I have to work Tuesday through Saturday, so then I get Sundays and Mondays off. But so far, I started reading The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. I am 63 pages into this, and this is rough, you guys. This is hard to read. It is about our main character, I don't even know her name, Eden. She gets raped by her brother's best friend and then doesn't tell anybody. At least for right now, she hasn't told anybody. And the guy that raped her is like trying to turn everybody against her so that they won't believe her if she ever does tell. And the book is split up between each of her years of high school. So there's like part 1 is freshman year, part 2 is sophomore year, so on and so on. And so I finished part 1 of freshman year, and it's just difficult. It's really hard to read at some times, but it's going by really fast. So this is, let's see, 367 pages. So I have 300 pages left, and yeah, I think it's going okay. Other than that, today I've been working on grad school stuff. In my multicultural literature for children and young adults class, we are in our Latino and Latin American culture unit, which is exciting since it's Latin American Heritage Month or Hispanic Heritage Month. And so it's really interesting to be reading about, not only like reading books about Latino people or Latinx people and or Latin American people, but also like in our textbook learning about how long books from the Latin American and Latino groups, like how long books about those people have been published, and like the top authors who have been publishing like positive representation of those groups of people. It's been really interesting to read about those groups, and so I have to read 4 books from this list that my professor gave, and I know for sure I'm reading Esperanza Rising, and I think I'm going to reread The Poet X because that's on the list. And I have to read a picture book and then another like middle grade book. But yeah, that's what I've been working on today. I just ate dinner, and it's like almost 6 o'clock now, so I'm going to do some posts on a discussion board for class and then continue reading. I've also got ice cream because who doesn't love ice cream? This is not spons, obviously, but if you don't eat dairy, the So Delicious dairy-free ice cream is top notch, and especially the salted caramel cluster, I freaking love it. But anywho, I stayed up actually like till midnight whenever the readathon started, but I was just watching Tik Toks, which, you know, I don't know what to say. And I read volume 9 of My Hero Academia last night, just on a whim. And then let's see, I'm also 35 pages into The Raven King for the Raven Cycle read along, and I'm really excited to be wrapping up this series. It's kind of weird to like read a whole series in 1 month, like, you know, 1 per week, but it's been an enjoyable experience, and I've really enjoyed watching the live shows for all of the books that the hosts are doing. So anyways, and you can also see that I've got some of my Halloween decorations up, but I'm gonna do a separate video like once I'm gonna do a separate video once I finish getting all of my Halloween decorations up. And yeah, so that's my update for now. I will catch up with you guys whenever I read some more. Hello, so I am now 107 pages into The Way I Used to Be. It's still kind of tough to read, but again, it's like going really fast, which I don't know, I didn't really expect that with the subject matter in this book. But I can't really say that I'm enjoying it, but it's fine. I forgot to mention earlier that there's this kid who's like the typical like dorky nerd character, but they like immediately upon introducing him, they're like Steven, aka Fat Kid, and I was like, okay, don't like that. And there's one other mention of him being overweight, and so far nothing else has come of it, but I just like, that was just something I did not like, right off the bat. So hopefully they won't talk about it much anymore, if anything. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna read any more of this before bed. It's like 9:45 right now, and so I'm actually going to like start getting ready for bed because I do have work tomorrow, and I guess I will update you guys in the morning. Hey, it's day 2 of Contemporary-A-thon, and I'm at home for lunch. I just ate some dairy-free mac and cheese, which sounds like totally, wrong, but it's a thing, and it's great. And I also had some clementines and some cookies, so we're doing great. I just wanted to do a quick reading update. I did end up reading more of this last night. I'm now at about the halfway point. Let's see what page I'm on. I'm on page 183. So I finished the first 2 parts, like freshman year and sophomore year. And like it's surprising me how quickly it's going by. But also, I just like, I don't know, it's still really difficult to read. And I think the main problem is that, like, the main character, Eden, she starts to like this guy named Josh, and, like, they are intimate, but she's terrified a lot of the time because of what happened to her, and she just won't talk to him about it. And so like she gets mad and then he gets mad because they're not talking. And I've talked about before like how I really hate the lack of communication trope, and that's pretty much what this is. And like I don't feel like Eden is necessarily wrong and not talking about being raped, but like it's just really complicated and difficult to read because like ultimately they're mad at each other for no reason because she's just not explaining herself. And so like she's working through her grief and whatever, like her PTSD and all this stuff, but it's just like so hard to read, and it makes me kind of like sick at my stomach just because like it would be so easy for them to talk about it if she just like would do it and feel comfortable doing that, but clearly she doesn't yet. So, and she's like lashing out at her parents, and it's just like it's a lot to read through and process, but hopefully it will end up okay. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. And then today at work, I've been listening to the audiobook for The Raven King, which is not a contemporary, but I have to read it for the Raven Cycle read along, and I'm let's see. I think I'm like almost halfway through. Yeah, I'm on page 190, and I don't know, like, sorry, I don't know how I feel about this one yet. I just like, a lot's happening, and like some new characters have been introduced, and it's the last book, and so it's kind of like, what's going on, how is this going to wrap up, and like a lot of action has happened, like bad things just keep happening, and so I don't know, but I'm excited to wrap up the series and see where it's gonna go. So I'll probably continue listening to that for the rest of the day at work once I go back. And unfortunately, none of the books that I picked for this readathon have audiobooks available to me, which my whole plan was to like read the way I used to be physically because I own a copy of it, and also read Dress Codes for Small Towns on my phone because I got it through Libby. And then I was going to read Birthday on Scribd, like listen to the audiobook, but again, Scribd screwed me over because I used my 3 popular titles for the month already, and I tried to like skirt around that by like not saving 2 books that I listened to, and it somehow still like managed to, you know, make it go to where I couldn't listen to them until the, you know, next time runs over, which my next round, like my next month or whatever, starts on the 29th, which is the last day of the readathon. So I guess if Scribd like refreshes at an early enough time, I could listen to it on the last day, but I don't know. And so I may switch it up and get a book that I can find on Libby. I think Emergency Contact is on Libby, but Birthday was the one for my 2019 release and diverse challenges, so I don't know. I gotta figure that out. But anyway, that's the update for now, and I will catch up with you guys after I get home from work. Hello. I'm laying in my floor because I am avoiding responsibilities. So, if you can hear loud noises, it's my dishwasher running in the background. And I just wanted to update, I guess. I haven't read any more of The Way I Used to Be, but I am now, let's see. ...340 pages into The Raven King, which again has nothing to do with the Contemporary-A-thon, but I listened to the audiobook for it all day at work today, and I have like 2.5 hours of the audiobook left, and I thought about just finishing it in the physical format tonight, but since I have the audiobook for it, it would be kind of pointless to waste that reading time on finishing that when I can be making progress on The Way I Used to Be, which actually benefits the Contemporary-A-thon. And right now, I was taking a break from reading for grad school. I'm reading for my library management class, and it's just the chapters in our textbook for that class can be anywhere from like 30 to 50 pages long, so I just have to like take a break and read it in small chunks because it's like information that is important but that I'm not super interested in, and so I just have to like force myself to read it, and so yeah, we'll make it. But I was just taking a break and watching Tik Toks and playing Words with Friends because I'm a big nerd, so you know, what else do you do? Also, anybody else, I'm covering up the lens. Anybody else change into comfy clothes right when they get home from work? Because that's what I do every single day, pretty much. And I will show you guys. I'm wearing a new, I need to quit. My fingers over it. I'm wearing a new Ravenclaw shirt that I got. My shorts are very small. But, yeah, I got this from Hot Topic on sale, and it's like one of those athletic type shirts, and it's very cozy. But anywho, that's the update for now. I will talk to you guys when I read more of The Way I Used to Be. Hi friends, it's day 3 of the Contemporary-A-thon and I have finished a book, but guess what? It was not for the Contemporary-A-thon. So I finished The Raven King while I was at work today, and I have feelings, I have thoughts. I gave it 4 stars, which I'll talk about that at a different time because this is not the time to talk about not contemporary things. But I also did finish part 3 of The Way I Used to Be last night. And so now I'm on page 235 of this, and I'm going to try to finish this last little chunk here today. And I did a little switcheroo of my TBR because I don't think I'm going to be able to get birthday. And so I decided to switch that out for On the Come Up by Angie Thomas because I'm really excited about reading that. It's on my 5-star prediction list, and the audiobook was available through my library. And so I started listening to that at work today after I finished The Raven King, and I think I'm about an hour and a half into it, so not super far, but I don't really have feelings yet. It's fine. But yeah, that's my update for now. I didn't get to update at lunch today because I had to go to my faculty staff book club thing. We read Educated by Tara Westover for this month, and y'all, that book is really difficult to read. I listened to the audiobook and there were times where I was just like so anxious and nauseous about her situation that I just had to like turn it off and do other things. And we had a good discussion about it, but I didn't even rate it because it was just so like, I don't know, I can't really put my feelings into words about that book, because it very clearly was not an enjoyable read. Like, the trauma that Tara faces in that book is just almost unbelievable. And but anywho, so we did that. I didn't get to come home for lunch, so I didn't do any updates, but I've been home for a little bit. I made spaghetti for dinner, and then I've just been watching some booktube videos, and I made a little page in my journal for the Contemporary-A-thon, so I will show you that in just a second. So here's my little journal page that I was telling you guys about. It's not anything special because I am not an artist, but this is the kind of thing I like to do for readathons. It's what works for me. I did it a little bit different because usually I would write out like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the challenges. But this time I decided to just write the book that I'm reading and then like what challenges it fulfilled. And then over here on the side, I'll write how many pages the book is, and then at the end, total them. And I'll put a little star after I finish each of the books. So sadly, it's day 3 and I still haven't finished anything, but I am super close to finishing this. My little McGonagall bookmark is so cute. Let's see, this is 367 pages, so, you know, I think I can finish it tonight. And, yeah, this is, like, really simple. Let me show you the one I did for Reading Rush. I did a little bit more, like, doodly type stuff. And see, I like wrote down each of the challenges and then wrote down the books that I read and the page numbers. And then when I finished the book, I put a star on it, and then the total pages and extra pages. Let me see if I have one of these for the last round of Contemporary-A-thon I participated in. Here was the one I did for the Contemporary-A-thon in spring of 2019. And I obviously like had a few that I ended up not reading, and I ended up like doubling up on some challenges, and you can see like I switched some things around, and then my total page count, I really like the rainbow of it. And so yeah, I really enjoyed these like single page, really simple things. I'm not a bullet journal person. Like this obviously like looks like a lined bullet journal, but I just use it for tracking reading stuff. And since I don't participate in readathons that often, it's just fun to add this stuff, like, you know, on a one-page thing. I think I've already shown this before, but like, please enjoy these My Hero Academia stickers. I love this soft Bakugo, and this was the only single Aizawa sticker that was in the pack. It was like I ordered it from Amazon, and there were like 70 something stickers in it, and these were like some of my favorite ones from the pack. But Aizawa is my favorite character, and this was the only sticker of him by himself. I don't even know if there's any like with other people and him in it, but I had to include this, and this is like also one of my favorite moments in the series. And then I have some more back here as well. Oof. We have these. I don't love how like they made Froppy's butt gigantic, and you know, that's fine. And then like Uraka is like a little bit, you know, sexualized, which that's a problem of the show, but what can we do? So anywho, that's how things are going. Hello, it is a little bit after 9 o'clock at night, and I just finished The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. I did not cry as I was expecting to, but this was a really difficult book to read, for sure. I'm not sure what I'm gonna rate it, because, like, I don't know, like, it wasn't an enjoyable book, but the commentary was good, question mark. I don't know, I think I'm gonna have to sleep on it and decide tomorrow what I'm gonna rate it. I have some problems with this. First of all, there's I mentioned that one of the side characters, they call him Fat Kid, and I think it only happens 3 times, but then he like eventually gets hot, and or well, not hot, but like he loses some weight and gets cuter or whatever, and like, I don't know, I didn't like that. The main character lied to a bunch of people about her age. Like, she was having sex with a lot of people, and she was underage. Particularly this one with this guy that she really liked. She was 14 and he was 18, and he confronts her about it after he finds out that she was lying, and it kind of blows up in her face. So I'm glad that it was addressed, but then it kind of goes back, and later on in the book they like meet up again, and he's like saying that they could have a relationship even though he's in a serious relationship already, and Eden says no, but it's, I don't know, it made me uncomfortable. A lot of things in this book made me uncomfortable. I think it's supposed to, because it deals heavily with rape and dealing with the consequences of that and dealing with the trauma of that, and yeah, I think I will talk more about this in my wrap up at the end of the month, but it's a difficult read. But yeah, first book down for the Contemporary-A-thon. I will continue listening to On the Come Up tomorrow at work, and then I will start reading Dress Codes for Small Towns as well tomorrow. But that's my update for tonight, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye!